Hello, welcome to my final project. My name is Ryan Books. This is for FRIT 7235, Digital Learning Environments with Dr. Jackie Kim. So the overview here, for my course, I've designed a set of three lessons, involving sixth grade social studies standards, and then one lesson that focuses on digital citizenship. The lessons will involve a variety of online technology tools as well as some pencil paper assignments. So the two main standards that will be being assessed over the course of our lessons are, the first one will be to analyze the different economic systems. And then the second standard will be that we will compare and contrast various forms of government. A couple of course objectives. I can identify the differences between the three main economic systems, and I can identify and define democracy, monarchy, dictatorship, and oligarchy. A few of the online resources that are used throughout the lesson are Google Classroom is the main platform that will be used for me and my students. We will also use Flip to create some videos throughout the lesson. We'll use Padlet so students can collaborate and make discussion posts, collaborate, give feedback in real time in a nice informal way. YouTube will be used. There's a couple videos that will be shown throughout the lesson. Canva is an option that students will have to create an infographic on a country and that country's government of their choice. Students will be able to use Google Slides to create presentations. Also, there will be Google Slides is used throughout the lesson as a way to give students information, and they can follow along and fill in their closed notes via my Google Slide presentation. Google Forms will be used one time. There's a Google Forms quiz that students will take, and then Kahoot, which is an online learning game that students will use. Just a couple of the assistive technology devices that are used. We have Read and Write. So all students' Chromebooks are equipped with the Google Read and Write add-on. This allows text to be read and then text-to-speech to be used. And then students are able to adjust their settings on their Chromebooks to fit their learning needs, whether that's the volume. They can raise the volume up or down, of course, the size of the font and the text, display settings, and etc. So Google Classroom is used as my main learning management system. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my Google Classroom. So when you sign on, when my students log on to my Google Classroom here, the first thing that they will see, if they go to classwork, is our digital citizenship lesson. We'll click on this here. The first thing they're going to see is they're going to watch a quick video. They're going to use their headphones to watch this video on their own Chromebook. It's a 3-minute YouTube video. It's embedded right here where they just click. And it talks about the effects of cyberbullying and how to avoid cyberbullying and cyber abuse. So after they watch that video, students are going to have a choice. They're either going to be able to create a Google Slide presentation outlining the effects of cyberbullying for the victim and the bully, or they can create a 1 to 2 minute video on Flip outlining the effects of cyberbullying for both the victim and the bully. Here's the link for them to create their Flip video. Here's the link right here for them to create their Google Slide presentation. Now, the Google Slide presentation, we wanted to give this to students in 2 different ways and formats. So, of course, if students would rather type their assignment up and use visuals on their presentation, if they're more visual learners, or they're able to, they're pretty strong grammatic skills, they can use the presentation on Google Slides. But if they're not, and they prefer to use some speech to text, or if they're not comfortable, they're not maybe strong spellers, or they're not comfortable using Google Slides, the opportunity for them to create a flip video is here. So we offered it in 2 different formats for them. Okay. So that should cover our digital citizenship portion of our lesson. Now, our first lesson is over economic systems of Europe. So what we will do here is first students will click. These are in order of what the assignments that will be presented to them. So first they'll click what is economics. It's a 6-minute video. Again, they'll watch this on their own using some headphones at their desk individually using their Chromebooks. After they watch that video, I have a Google Slides presentation for them here, and then I have some notes that they can take on their computer. I also have can have these printed. If students would rather write them using pencil paper, that's perfectly fine too. So just take a look at our Google Slide presentation. So we're going to talk about in this unit, we're going to talk about the economic systems of Europe. We're mainly going to focus on the United Kingdom, Germany, and Russia to start off with. Okay, we have our learning objectives here for the 3 learning objectives for our students to see. So they should feel confident about what they're going to learn and what they should know by the time we are done with our week-long unit. Okay. So we're clicking through our economic systems. These are all slides for them to be able to use and fill in their notes. Now I also want to pull up our closed notes. These notes follow along perfectly with the presentation. So these guys our class can fill in right here. Again, they can use these pencil paper. They can use this, they can fill this in right here, make a copy, fill it in, and edit these notes themselves. Now I know this is a pretty long portion. This will span over the course of a week. So this is not all in one day. I did want to show one of our activities that we have on this presentation for students to complete is we have a chart here. We're evaluating Europe's economic systems. We're evaluating the United Kingdom. We're evaluating Germany and Russia. Okay, so our class can fill in these charts right here, sort of like an anchor chart. We have some different statements here, and these guys can just either fill it in. Again, we can print this out pencil paper, or they can drag it right over, drag and drop. So we have a ticket out the door. So these guys are going to pretend like they are a teacher. They're going to give each country a grade based on its economic system. Okay, this is totally up to them. In the comment section, they can write why they chose the grade. And in the effort section, they can write some things that they feel that country can do to improve. So again, this is their notes that they're filling out and their activities throughout the week. They go hand in hand with our notes over here, our presentation of economic systems of Europe. As you can see, it's pretty lengthy. We have some drag and drop where students can locate Germany. They can drag the pen. Okay, just a lot of great interactive stuff for them to use. We have Russia here. Again, we have a drag and drop where they can drag and drop the map marker on Russia. Now this is previous. We're kind of reaching back and going on some previous knowledge here, because earlier in the school year we did go over and talk about physical features of Europe, and students were able to take quizzes, and vocabulary quizzes, and map quizzes on physical features and different countries throughout the continent of Europe. All right. So our economic systems, our big kind of assessment of this lesson, this unit, is our economic systems group project. Students will be placed in groups of 3. Each member of the group will be assigned one of the 3 types of economic systems. Okay, Each member will research their assigned economic system, and the group will collaborate to create a Google slide presentation on the 3 economic systems. Students will need to provide examples of at least one country that uses their assigned economic system, as well as that country's main export if it has one. And right here is a link to a quiz where students can complete this on their own. This is individual. I'll pull this up here for you. It should take us to it. Students can start the quiz now. It's a 19-question quiz. Just kind of as a nice review game for them. It will be taken up for a grade, just really for me as a completion grade, but I will like to see what students are missing, what students are comprehending. That way I can form assessments around what the majority of the class seems to be grasping. All right, now we're going to move on to our types of government lesson. So this also will be about a week long. We'll start our lesson off. The class will watch a video on the forms of government here. They can click it. It's about a 5-minute YouTube video on types of government. Then we're going to move on into our slide presentation. This is an interactive slide presentation. Each student will have a copy on their Google Classroom right here. They click that and open, and this covers Europe's government. So again, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Russia. Talks about some objectives that we'll know, that we should, students should see these, and then again, they should feel confident that they know these at the end of our unit. So we have some review right here for them. Again, fill in the blank notes section for them to follow along with. So we have another portion where we can drag and drop, where students can make predictions about the answers to the following questions before the lesson. Okay, and then after the lesson, students can return and check and see what they got right and see what they got wrong. This is just a nice little study guide for them to see what they know before and see what they know after. And all these questions will be covered on our end of the unit quiz. So it's a nice review section here for the students. Now we move on to the United Kingdom. We talk about how they are a parliamentary democracy. Again, you can locate the United Kingdom on the map via drag and drop right here. A quick background of the United Kingdom. I do want to show you. We move on to Germany, another parliamentary democracy. This is an interactive presentation. So Russia, we have a presidential democracy. There's information on Russia over here, as you can see. So now students can use this slide to check and correct their answers from the previous slide I showed you on slide 16. So now they can kind of see how they did on their previous slide before they knew any of this stuff, okay? Right here's a chart they can complete. They can print this off. I can print this off for them. They will have paper copies, but they are welcome to type this in. They complete the chart with information they learned throughout the lesson. They are going to type their answers right here into the text box. So we have a background info of each country, a government system, and so on. Right here, students can just drag and drop. They can match our key terms with our correct definitions right here. This is just another great way for them to review. This is an option for students to write a recipe for the government of the United Kingdom. They're going to include the ingredients that were used to form the government and also write out special cooking instructions for bringing the country's government together. They're going to do this for the United Kingdom, for Germany, and for Russia. Right here we have a little Venn diagram of comparing and contrasting the governments of the United Kingdom, Germany, and Russia. They can drag and drop right here. Some sections may be full while others may not be used at all. This right here is where students can move these around and check for understanding. So you cover these up. Now it gives you the nice answer key right here for students to check and see how they did on the previous slide. and then just a ticket out the door. So create a song playlist for the European governments that we have studied. Again, there's